Ladies and gentlemen, 21 games in 6 days here in Estero, Florida. Hertz Arena, buckle up. A top 12 matchup between the Texas Longhorns, the number 4 ranked team in all the land, and a former Big 12 foe, the number 12 team in the country, the West Virginia Mountaineers. We welcome you into said Hertz Arena for the Gulf Coast Showcase Championship game. Jack DeLongchamp sitting alongside the legendary head coach, Miss Marlene Stallings. Coach, let's get ready to rumble.
Let's do it. We are hyped for this one. Between us, we've got 41 games under our belt in about 6 days. I tell you what, they saved the best for last for us. With Texas, we've got a team that doesn't give you games, but guess what? West Virginia doesn't give you a game either. You have to take them when you're playing these two teams. This is one of the deepest teams in Coach Vic's era. No player on his roster is averaging more than 23 minutes a game. 10 different players have already scored in double digits. And get this, their bench is averaging 43 points a game. Texas forcing 23 turnovers, but yet West Virginia forcing 30 turnovers a game, which ranks number 2 in the nation.
Coach Stallings, Vic Schaefer, and his 5th season at the helm, 113-32 as the head coach at the University of Texas, and vice versa, with a little less experience. But the 6th winningest active head coach in the country by winning percentage is Mark Kellogg. In his 2nd year at the helm, he had 25 wins last year. Coach, that was the most in program history for a very storied tradition program. He is led by their star guard, J.J. Quinterly, who is on that Naismith watch list, but she's going to have her hands full. You know, the matchup breakdown, this is the 29th all-time between WVU and University of Texas, and this is how we will line up from a starting lineup standpoint. There are stars. These are future pros, All-Americans, if you will. And for the University of Texas, they'll start Rory Harmon, Shea Holley, Aaliyah Moore, Madison Booker, Taylor Jones, Sydney Shaw, Jordan Harrison, J.J. Quinterly, Kaya Watson, and Kylie Blackson over on the Mountaineers sideline. Coach, when you look at this matchup, these backcourts, we might be seeing the best 2-point guards in the country going at it tonight, and Rory Harmon and J.J. Quinterly.
Well, we have some of the most electrifying guards, as you said, in the country going head-to-head tonight. We expect to see elite guard play for 40 minutes. We've got some WNBA folks in the house taking the action in. Rory Harmon, the self-proclaimed menace, person who likes to cause harm, word she calls herself on the court, coming off of ACL injury. You know, she was only cleared for full contact October 17th, so just over a month ago. And then you got Madison Booker. They asked her one word to describe herself. She said fundamental. Well, my word for Madison Booker is efficient. She's shooting 83%. Not from the free throw line, from the 3-point line, okay? And she's shooting only 80% from the free throw line.
Yeah, only.
And 57% from the floor. But on the flip side, West Virginia, they are the 3-headed monster. You got their top 3 scorers in J.J. Quinterly, Harris, and Shaw leading the way. Lots of experience, a senior and 2 juniors. West Virginia returning 4 or 5 starters from a year ago.
You know, this matchup, I said, was the 29th all-time. The last time these two met in a neutral site was back in 2018 during the Big 12 championship. And when you look at the 5 matchups, no longer Big 12 foes, but 5 in a row for the University of Texas, looking to make it 6 for a Gulf Coast Showcase championship. Last year in Morgantown, a career high in turnovers under the Mark Kellogg era. It was the first game without Rory Harmon after that torn ACL. Just 9 months later, she's back wearing that brace and dominating with the Longhorns. But a quick start, as there's the backcourt guard that was going and flying under the radar, Jordan Harrison with a quick 2.
Nice start for West Virginia. It's going to be real important in a game like this that West Virginia makes shots. They absolutely have to rebound the ball. They are outmatched in terms of size. Both teams looking to take care of the ball as they both go against pressure defenses.
See Harrison flying into those passing lanes. If you're unfamiliar and tuning in for the first time, the West Virginia Mountaineers, number 1 in the Big 12, number 2 in the country, forcing 30.5 turnovers per game. I cannot imagine that they'll be able to do that against the Longhorns, but who the heck are we to count them out? Nice play down underneath. That's a spot and a position that Coach Schaefer is going to ask a lot from. Taylor Jones with a nice turnaround jumper.
Well, just what we expect from Texas. They're going to go into their bigs. It's going to be interesting to see what West Virginia chooses to do about it. They have a tremendous size advantage, and they sub about 4 deep at that position. You know, Coach Schaefer told us he needs another post, and I thought he was joking, but he was dead serious. I'm like, Coach, most teams would like to have one of your bigs. I mean, you've got 4. Being a little greedy, he wants another one.
You mentioned it. They don't have anybody averaging more than 22 minutes per game right now. And that you could also make the argument that West Virginia has maybe played a little bit more of a difficult schedule to this point in the season, with wins over the likes of Pittsburgh and A&M. You see a little bit of a slick spot as Madison Booker flying in and will travel.
And Jack, in a game like this, I think it's real important. You want your team to play with emotion, but you don't want to be emotional. There's a big difference. And in a big game, real early in the season for both teams, but biggest challenge for both teams. It's only November, but it's real important not to be emotional, but definitely play with emotion.
Well, we're curious, too. We mentioned it being a top 12 showdown. This is one of the premier matchups in the entire country in the college baseball realm, is Shea Ali jumping into the passing lanes. Talk about contrasting styles. Why this is so exciting and on so many college basketball pundits' radars is because of the way these two teams like to play. They're going to press each other all afternoon, suffocating defense. Push comes to shove, who will prevail? Here's Sydney Shaw. She's been great during the showcase. Rebound by Booker, and she'll push. She's losing it. There's the first steal of the game for Shaw. Watson in transition, right into the chest of Aaliyah Moore. Great no call is Quinterly with a nice head fake. Her floater rattling in and out. 2 minutes in, you're already starting to see the pace at home. Is almost another steal from Shaw.
On a little bit of a question mark.
No question mark about this young player. Quinterly missing it.
Oh my. West Virginia's going to have to knock those down. Great opportunity, doing what they do, turning Texas over. A question mark I was going to say for Texas on the season thus far is I'm curious to see about their outside shooting.
Yep.
Only have 3 players on their team that have taken a 3-point shot this season.
Just haven't had to. This is actually their first P4 matchup of the year, and it ends up being a top 15 matchup. Here's Quinterly. This is the matchup we've been so excited about. Said we got to make those shots, and a rare again miss from J.J. Quinterly on the inside. Oh, nice pass and find underneath. There's Aaliyah Moore.
And right there is why it's so important that when West Virginia gets those open looks around the basket, they are going to have to hit them in a game like this because Texas is just too tall down low. They're going to get some of those buckets.
Well, now Texas forcing the turnover. This is going to be an offensive foul on J.J. Quinterly. Our officiating crew making themselves known early. Been an awesome crew all week. Michael McConnell, Natasha Kamey, and Natasha Brown doing the officiating duties today. That Quinterly's first. There's Rory Harmon, even on an inbound. She able to break the press. He tapped out of bounds. And Coach, I made the joke about I can't imagine West Virginia being able to force 20-plus turnovers, which they've done in every game this year against a mighty Texas Longhorn. But just 3 minutes in, they've already forced 3 turnovers.
Well, and Texas hasn't faced another P4 yet this season. Their closest competition has been DePaul. Whereas West Virginia, a little more battle tested. They've played Pitt, Texas A&M, and Booker just, I'm going to use my word, efficient. She can use her word, fundamental, but just so smooth.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us introduce you to the reigning Big 12 Player of the Year and Freshman of the Year as Jordan Harrison able to get to the cup. She's got all 4 for West Virginia.
And this is what West Virginia can do. Again, a junior, 2 juniors, 1 senior. Great guard play. They can get to the basket on West Virginia.
Right now they got Jordan Harrison. They're just going to switch everything on the screen. There's another mid-range jumper in and out. Aaliyah Moore with another big offensive rebound.
Nice putback by Moore. And again, West Virginia and Coach Kellogg, he had one word for the game, and it's rebound. You cannot give Texas a second shot.
Watson 3, no good. Rory Harmon will collect and push. Rory Harmon using the screen, getting into the chest of Harrison. Good no call. And Harrison, oh, how about the moxie? Not sure what she was doing, if she was insinuating a flop, but flexing on the Mounties. Nice turnaround, Jay.
Well, Rory just so dangerous when she gets into the paint. Ability to knock down that shot with ease. If you send a secondary defender, she's going to burn you because she has tremendous court vision. She is hard to guard once she gets into the paint.
Yeah, it's so difficult to guard in her 4th season as a Longhorn, and something to keep an eye on as well. Fans and friends at home, Coach Songs, I'm holding you accountable too. Not a math guy, but Rory Harmon, 18 away, now 16, from 1,000 career points in a Longhorn jersey. Quite the accomplishment. We'll make sure to keep our eyes on that number as the game progresses. They trap Quinterly. This Aaliyah Moore. Quinterly wisely throwing it off the back of the leg of Aaliyah Moore. And the Mountaineers will retain possession. 10-4 lead, about 4.5 through the first quarter. And this is where Texas is so dangerous. They've already had 4 players score, whereas for West Virginia, all 4 coming from the young guard in the backcourt, Jordan Harrison. Rory Harmon picking off that pass. Here's Booker. Sydney Shaw, the first on the defensive assignment. Booker, we know how talented a scorer she is. Coach, how would you try to slow her down? Is it throwing a couple different personnel for Madison Booker? Sydney Shaw guarding. Who do you defend and have guard big number 35?
Well, I think one of the things that makes her so dangerous is her height and length. She's a hard matchup for a lot of people. And remember, she played point guard last year for this Texas team. When Rory Harmon went down, they moved her over to the point position at 6'1". But I think you have to get up under her. If you're going to go short, you got to get up under her, pressure her. If not, you got to send probably a secondary defender. The goal with Booker is to make her give up the ball.
No doubt. A quick start for the number 4 team to land. The Longhorns lead 10-4. This, the Gulf Coast Showcase, brought to you by FloHoops. Well, both of these fan bases have traveled well. A lot to be excited about for college basketball fans in the cities of Austin and Morgantown. This, the biggest crowd we have seen here at Hertz Arena yet, and to no surprise, a top 12 matchup if you're just joining us. We got the Longshaw sitting alongside legendary head coach Marlene Stallings. And coach, about what we expected. Distributed scoring for the Longhorns. Slow starts, though, for both teams. A little surprised at West Virginia with their 5 turnovers, 3 from the Longhorns.
Well, one of the keys to the game is which team will take better care of the ball, because they are 2 defensive-oriented teams going to pressure you 94 feet for 40 minutes. That is a key to the game, is who can take care of the ball the best.
Here's Shea Holly, wing 3, front iron, no good. Rebounded by Shaw. Sydney Shaw to J.J. Quinterly. This is the matchup also excited about. 2 Naismith watch list players heading into the 24 campaign. Harmon suffocating, looking for Shaw. Last touch by Shea Holly. Mountaineers will hold on. There's so much conversation about now press Virginia again. But for Texas, and you can see Vic Schaefer in his 5th season, defense has been a staple no matter where he has coached. It's a fun matchup between 2 veteran players. Kylie Blackston of West Virginia in her 5th season, a graduate transfer from Colorado, averaging about 9 and 3. She'll check out for the young breakout star, Jordan Thomas, who recorded a double-double in their first matchup, 18 and 10. And this is a big question. As Texas goes to their bench, shows the cases a little depth with Kyla Oldacre. You are curious, Coach, how would the backups in that front court for West Virginia fare in this matchup?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Great hesitation from Harrison.
Nice job by Harrison. She's gotten in there multiple times already in this game, and I like her poise and composure to finish a shot amongst the trees.
Well, it's funny, Coach Kellogg's so kind to give us a couple minutes before the game. He said, Jordan Harrison, we're going to win. She's got to play her best. A late whistle, but it is clearly going to be a push from behind. Shaw did not have position, and Aaliyah Moore going to pick up her first personal. Let's take another look at home. You see at the very last seconds of that play. Pretty clear from this side. I know the Longhorns are upset, but that's what they're supposed to do.
Well, and if you're West Virginia, you like this. Rebounding so crucial. They've got to do stuff like that against the bigs.
Oh, great find from Harrison. It's Quinterly in the corner. Weight room in 3 a little long. Here's Watson pressuring on ball. Booker. Kyle Watson going to be hit with a hand check. Coach, these two athletes, Watson and Booker, as they fly right by us. It is insane at 6'1" when, a lot of teams in the country, when you lose a Rory Harmon, you go, where do we go from here? They take the talented freshman. First time in Big 12 history, the freshman of the year was the Big 12 player of the year until Madison Booker showed up. She goes from playing a 3-4, 3-level scorer to being a true point guard for Vic Schaefer and the Longhorns.
Well, it just shows her versatility and how talented she is. She had already won 3 gold medals with USA Basketball before she even stepped foot on campus in Austin.
Her father, Carlos, he's 6'10", played at Southern Miss, was a heck of a player. Booker in her freshman year was a first-team All-American, was the Cheryl Miller Small Forward of the Year, while playing point guard as well. She was a true point forward, taking on much of the load. And now with Harmon back, this Longhorn team, you can tell why they have slowly become a favorite to get back to the Final Four.
Good defense by Harrison on Harmon that possession.
Wow, that's something to keep an eye on. Is you see the 3rd string backup forward check in, the Oral Roberts transfer, Tirza Moore, as Coach Kellogg got to go to his bench as Jordan Thomas picks up 2 quick ones. Oh, excuse me, I was mistaken. They're actually going to charge that to Kaya Watson. Those are her first 2 fouls.
Oldacre at the line, someone I've been really impressed with early on this season, putting up really good numbers. Transfer from Miami. She's really advanced her game and excelled so far early in the season under Coach Schaefer's system and his tutelage, and really just impressed with her improvements so far and what she's been able to bring off the bench for Texas.
Now look at her extending out and hedging. Jordan Harrison been so dangerous, switching up defensive. Lee is now, they leave Harrison wide open in the corner, but Rory Harmon, the do-it-all guard that is a box score bully, sacrificing the body and taking the charge.
How about that? And again, just over a month cleared for full contact coming off that ACL. Shows no fear. We've seen her take multiple charges in this tournament.
Will be charged to Sydney Shaw. No fouls to give for the West Virginia Mountaineers, as that's Shaw's first. Harmon, it's incredible to see her speed, especially just 9 months coming off that torn ACL. She looks better than ever. Speaking of speed, Jordan Harrison off to the races, leaning in with the body, and will head to the line. Something to keep an eye on, though. Harrison looks like she may have come down on that ankle a little gingerly.
How about the speed to run through that passing lane? Getting ready to call the next play, thinking the ball's going through, and then out of nowhere comes Harrison. Just elite speed and quickness and anticipation skills away from the ball.
That'll be Shea Holly's first, the 2023 Big 12 defensive first team selection. Knocking down the first is Jordan Harrison. You know, in her first 2 seasons as a Mountaineer, she had 32 efforts in double digits. Now it's almost become commonplace, averaging 16 and really, most importantly, 6 assists a night. Coach, she's such a great decision maker. 36 to 14 assist to turnover ratio seems inhuman. Wastes no time, though, as we brag on the Mounties. The Longhorns beat the press and find Booker on the short corner. Her floater no good, but earning a trip to the charity stripe. Longhorns with a 4-point lead, and the fouls now starting to amount for the Mounties. That already their 7th. That one's going to be charged to Tiersa Moore. We talked about, you know, the depth at that front court. Jordan Thomas and Kaya Watson already with 2 fouls for Coach Kellogg. There's another foul behind the ball. Shea Holly, be charged with reaching in behind. Holly, a captain on this team. It looks like Coach Schaefer's going to go to his bench and check in Layla Felia. We've laughed. The depth just seems silly at this point. Felia coming off the bench was a first-team All-Big Ten selection at Michigan last year. But don't let that fool you. She's still averaging 20 minutes a night for the Longhorns, and averaging about 9 and 4.
And on the other side, Riviere in the game for West Virginia. Been impressed with this junior college transfer, first year at West Virginia. Coach Kellogg believes she was the best JUCO player in the nation last year, and she can go inside or out for this Mountaineer team.
Well, this is going to be a crucial decision because Coach Kellogg is furious. Coach, is it a moving screen or do you think it'll be defensive? And it is going to be a moving screen. This now the 3rd West Virginia forward. As you see Harmon fighting through. A lot of contact. We'll let you be the judge at home as, again, the 3rd West Virginia forward with already 2 fouls. So now you're going to go deep into the bench. And checking in for the first time is Danelle Argbabu, the German native and transfer from Northeastern Oklahoma A&M, just playing 3 minutes per game at this juncture.
West Virginia showing zone this possession. Texas a little discombobulated.
Shot clock down to 5 for Harmon. She dances with the ball. Mid-range jumper, back iron, no good. Oldacre goes up. Buzzer sounds. Longhorns keep fighting. And
Wow,
Texas.
What a battle up under the basket. Obviously, West Virginia not quite as tall as Texas, but they are fighting in there.
You know, if you stuck around with us late last night during the Gulf Coast Showcase, Texas with a big-time win over a Big East foe, excuse me. And when Coach Schaefer came over to talk with us, Coach, he goes, hey, we got to be a little bit better in that front court. We're a little bit light at that position. We're like, your backup is a transfer from Miami and a McDonald All-American. As Kyla Oldacre has played really solid minutes here in the first.
Now, and Aaliyah Moore, another one of those players, kind of working her way back in. She's dealing with some tendonitis in her knee. Her minutes are limited.
Right, she's playing just 16 minutes per game at this point in the season. And again, just being very cautious because in 2023, she did tear that ACL in that same said right knee. But last year, bouncing back in a huge way as that free throw rolls in and out. She was a 2024 All-Big 12 second-team selection, averaging 12 and 6 a night. Especially when, you know, Booker having to play point more becomes the go-to starter at that 4 spot. So her health was crucial for Vic Schaefer during their 33-5 season a year ago. Here's Quinterly slashing and dicing the defense. She's fouled before she's able to get the shot up. That'll be on Oldacre, her first.
Good job by Quinterly, challenging Texas in the open floor, utilizing her speed, quickness.
Quick start for the Longhorns, but they've been held without a field goal for the last 5 minutes of play.
Tell you what, some of these guards, feel like could win like 100-meter in the Olympics. I mean, they're so fast, so quick. When you see it up close and personal, it's even more impressive.
It's funny that you say that, as Quinterly knocks down the first, cutting the deficit to 6. And Texas has another one of those McDonald All-Americans sitting on their bench. We'll see her at some point in the first half, without question, as Jordan Lee was actually a state champion in the state of Texas in the 800 and 1600. If you want speed in college basketball, you have come to the right place. West Virginia sticking in that zone, Coach.
Yeah, and they play zone regularly. They like to mix up their defenses. Good job by Texas getting it right into the gut to Moore. Good look by her. Real important West Virginia rebounds out of the zone. Good job there.
Oldacre crashing into a boxing out Sydney Shaw. Shaw, who had 7 steals in their first round matchup here at the Gulf Coast Showcase. I have been really impressed with her physicality. A lot of attention, and rightfully so, to Quinterly and Harrison, but Shaw very important to the Mounties.
Oh, without question. That's Shaw, Harrison, and Quinterly. That's a dangerous trio.
Riviere bumped, and a little surprised we didn't get a whistle. Celia Riviere, a little bit of a homecoming for her as she played her junior college basketball at Northwest Florida State. A lot of contact right now. Quinterly fighting through it. Her first basket, and she's up to 4.
Just a 3-point game, just like that. Good job by West Virginia staying poised. We talked in the early going. It's okay to play with emotion, but don't be emotional. West Virginia has handled the run by Texas, coming back with a run of their own.
Game clock now at 12. Shot clock, about a 3-second difference. Ooh. Aaliyah Moore with a nice Euro and spin it off the glass. Aaliyah Moore with a game-high 7.
Ooh, a little hop on the catch. I think she got away with one there.
Game clock down to 1. And a travel before a potential foul of Rory Harmon, as there's just 3/10.
I really thought they missed that travel by Moore, and unfortunate. JJ gets called for one on the other end.
They'll inbound to Harmon, and a first quarter buzzer will sound. Well, the West Virginia Mountaineer defense, relentless. They hold Texas without a made basket for the last 6 minutes of the first quarter. It's 17-12. The number 4 team in the land leads here at the Gulf Coast Showcase on FloHoops. So we welcome you back into the Hertz Arena. If you're just joining us, the Gulf Coast Showcase, 21 games spanned over by 6 days, put on by the BD Global Group. And as you can see, our last matchup was a barn burner to the finish. Butler pulling away from the West Coast powerhouse, Boise State. And yeah, why wouldn't you want to stick around and see the top 12 matchup? Those were players. That was Libby Hutton, the freshman from Australia for Boise State. She had a career high today. We're back underway. 17-12 Longhorns, and foul trouble becoming an issue right now for West Virginia. 3 of their 4 is in foul trouble with 2 as we begin the second. Fighting for a loose ball on that rebound. We'll head the other way. Reminder, it was Kai Watson, Jordan Thomas, the young freshman star from Carrollton, Texas, and also Tirza Moore. So again, next mentality for the Mountaineers is Celia Riviere and Danelle Arbabu getting extended minutes, as we are going to get another offensive screen, the 10th personal foul on the Mountaineers, and Coach Kellogg is beside himself.
Yeah, those are the kind of mistakes, if you're West Virginia, you don't want to have in a game like this. Got to be patient. Let your guard run off of you.
They got that foul on Danelle Babu. That her first personal foul.
West Virginia electing to stay in their zone.
Felia back to Harmon. Harmon being guarded by Quinterly. Short cutter jumper from Booker, no good. Quinterly with the rebound. She'll push in transition. Don't have numbers, no problem. Quinterly with some fancy ball handling skills. Coach Schaefer was looking for a charge, and they're going to get a block on Layla Felia, and Quinterly will head to the line for already the second time tonight.
Tell you what, I love J.J. Quinterly's poise and composure. She went into traffic there. Player falls on the floor, a lot of contact. She stays with it and draws the foul.
Well, if you're tuning in at home on FloHoops, we thought we'd let you know, wanted to show you. If you're just a casual fan learning the game, as Coach Schaefer still giving an earful over on that sideline. Coach Kellogg asking why the delay in time.
Yeah, like you got to go on here. I mean, explain the play. Let's go. He's slowing the game down here. You don't get a dissertation there about the call. Coach Kellogg going nuts on the other end, like, let's go. You're freezing my free throw shooter.
I was going to say, I'm not much of a lip reader, but didn't need to. Hertz Arena is getting rowdy with these Mountaineer fans, but I could hear Coach Kellogg clear as day. What are we talking about? Let's get this thing rolling.
Officials go over and explain to Kellogg what was going on.
Well, now that we're back under play, want to brag on Quinterly some more. You know, for those college basketball casuals or maybe starting to fall in love with the game, Quinterly, one of the best around the country. She was the 2024 Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. She was a two-time Big 12 first team selection in that backcourt.
Man, JJ missing both free throws there. You wonder, did she get a little bit frozen at the line with that big delay? But right back on the steal.
Well, she's an 85% free throw shooter, to your point, Coach, but she's one of the best in the country when it comes to steals. Riviere, an extended three from the stretch four.
And she can hit that shot at a high clip. I really like her game. We've been high on her throughout the tournament. She adds another dimension to this West Virginia offense.
You know, we talked about some familiar faces. The Mountaineers returning 4 of 5 starters. But Celia Riviere adding a little bit of a different wrinkle into this offense. She actually won a national championship. A native of Paris, France, playing stateside in high school, playing at the #1 JUCO in the country. This was a big get for Coach Kellogg. As you see, the fancy footwork, a nice Euro for the Frenchwoman. Nice finish from Riviere.
We said early on she can go inside or out. There you see her off the bounce. Very versatile.
Oh, nice find. Elbow to post, assisted by Moore, the finish from Jones. We're going to get a whistle behind the play. Not sure if we're starting the game or shot clock early. But the West Virginia support staff is furious because they did have numbers even after a make. Inbounded to Harrison. Layla Felia, the 2024 Big Ten selection, on ball this time around. How about that fancy crossover and kiss it off the glass? Jordan Harrison, a perfect 4-for-4 start, and she's into double digits.
I really like what West Virginia did there. They set up a high ball screen, let the guard play off of it. Texas likes to hedge with their big girl, which sometimes gets in the way of their guard. And West Virginia, foot-to-foot speed with this Texas team. They can go toe-to-toe.
Booker kicking to Harmon. Harmon has struggled a bit from outside and three-point land so far this year. But they go back to the low block. Love that rip-through move and a lefty lay. And Aaliyah Moore's got a team high 9.
And Moore moving as well as I've seen her move in this tournament. Again, a little bit of tendonitis in that knee. That was a great move off the bounce. so agile in the paint.
Quinterly hiding behind the three, and the slow start continues as Booker comes down. Aaliyah Moore a little gingerly shaking at that right ankle. She asking for a sub. Let's see if they'll play through. 7 minutes to go here in the second quarter. There's Booker hiding behind the screen. Looks like she didn't get that handle right as Felia wins the 50-50, but immediately turns it over. Mounties with no numbers will pull out. Justice Carlton, who just headed over to the scores table. Haven't seen her yet in this contest. Talk about her after she enters for inevitably Aaliyah Moore. Harrison getting a mismatch. And this looks like it's going to be a foul on the floor on Madison Booker. That's her second. Actually, that's her first. They altered that at our last media timeout and gave a foul that was on Booker back to Moore. So this will be Booker's first as Moore will check out.
How about this if you're Texas? Carlton coming off a 30-piece yesterday, just now entering the game, the luxury that Texas has, the depth that they have. We spoke about that in the opener. Just now getting into the game after a 30-point performance, one of the impressive freshmen on this Texas roster. You know, she came over after the game. She tried to take a charge with about 30 seconds left last night. They're up 30-plus. We asked her about trying to take that charge. She said, Coach, I have to constantly prove to Coach that I'm really working on my defense, or otherwise I won't get a play.
The daughter of a Baylor Bear, her mom, Casey Carlton, a legend at Baylor, ended up getting drafted to play in the WNBA. Coach Schaefer making sure that Justice Carlton, the number 12 player in the 2024 class, a McDonald All-American. Hey, she's from Katy. There's no way we were letting her go to Waco. She's traveled down the road into Austin, and last night with a career high of 30. It just does feel silly, though, after about 12 minutes of play, after a 30-piece, she just now checks in.
It speaks to the depth that Texas has, and I think one of the real challenges for Coach Schaefer as the season progresses is going to be combinations. A team that is so deep and so talented, who to play together, when to play them, and not disrupt offensive rhythm in particular. We know Texas is going to defend, but there's definitely something called rhythm on offense that's real important. And when you're playing that many people, sometimes that can be disruptive.
Carlton said, who needs rhythm? I'm only playing 15 minutes a night. She has checked in. She has played 35 seconds and has a steal and a bucket.
Wasting no time, proving to Coach that she needs to sub in a little sooner next time.
And while we were bragging on Justice Carlton, I think we are going to get, still waiting on an official announcement. The officials walked over to the scores table. I think they're going to come let us know and explain. They have issued, I believe, a technical foul. Hey, sir. Hey, sir. What was the official announcement?
It's a team technical foul. We had a warning for a fake and then a second fake. It's a team technical foul. It doesn't go to the player. It just goes to the team.
Awesome. We really appreciate the explanation for our awesome officiating crew. That's why we were kind of like a Ron Burgundy sense question mark on the end of the teleprompter. They came over and let us know. They issued a warning earlier in the first quarter on a flop, and the second go-around is just a team technical. It is the third personal, but it does not go on the player, which is so huge for a West Virginia team that has already committed 11 personal fouls. I say 3 because Madison Booker, with her first triple, she's got 7. Texas lead now up to 12, the largest of the game so far. Booker gonna get caught on a reach-in, though. Be charged with her second after nailing that big-time triple. The 3-level score gets caught on a reach-in. And you can kind of see, too, I knew I wasn't crazy. You can see that Texas staff looking down at the scores table, reassuring to make sure that was just her second. As there was confusion on an Aaliyah Moore potential foul earlier in the second. Booker will check out, and here comes another All-American, the number 9 player in the class of 2024, Jordan Lee, checking in for the first time. Here's Quinterly, inbound, trying to get her going, but no good, short. Coach, 3 games, 3 days. The Longhorns' legs look fresh, and Justice Carlton, after a 30-piece last night, with already 4,
Well, and to your point, playing as many people as they do, you can really play at a high level. You don't have to worry about getting tired because somebody else has your back and then somebody else has their back. I mean, it's legitimately 3 deep at multiple positions, sometimes 4 deep for this Texas Longhorn team.
Oh.
How about that?
Well, Quinterly, we were going to ask 3 games, 3 days. Are her legs wearing on her? Having averaged about 32 minutes per game. Now she goes, all right, it's time to facilitate. With the 4th-string center in the game, Danelle Arigbabu, with a nice head fake, hesitation, absorb the contact. And she'll try to earn 3 the old-fashioned way. Arigbabu making her Mountaineer debut against Loyola Maryland a few weeks ago, transferring in from Northeastern Oklahoma A&M. Averaging about 10 minutes per game, only about 3 so far in the tournament. This is going to be a push-off on Carleton. Great work by Jordan Harrison, drawing the charge.
No freshman mistake there.
Well, it feels fitting. If my math is correct, the 6th charge already taken in this defensive slugfest. Take us to our media timeout here in the 2nd quarter. The Longhorns, the largest lead of the game by 12 here on FloHoops. As we welcome you back into the Gulf Coast Showcase. I've said it a few times, Coach, already, but for those just joining us, this might be my favorite aspect of this awesome tournament put on by BD Global. The feed you see at home is the fan cam here in the arena. It's a little bit of an unorthodox feed here with Flo, so we're just streaming everything, so we're tied in. You're getting to see these live reactions of these devout fans who have traveled down to Estero, Florida for this holiday tournament. Coming out of a timeout, here's Jordan Harrison, loses her footing, ends up in the hands of Arigbabu, and a great finish for the German.
How big has Arigbabu been for West Virginia? They have to go deep into their bench, all their post pickup early fouls, and she has just played solid for the Mountaineers.
11 personal fouls on the Mountaineers, including 6 on their 3 best forwards. So they go to the bench. And how about Arigbabu swatting away the former McDonald All-American? Here come the Mounties. Great find from Quinterly. Watson loses her footing. She rips through. Arigbabu free throw line jumper.
Why not? On fire.
Want to know how much she means to this team? Look at the reaction of the bench. She's played more minutes in this game than she did all tournament. She's got 6. Deficit back to 8. West Virginia cutting it back to single digits for the first time since the 9-minute mark here in the quarter.
Well, this is big for West Virginia coming out of the media timeout. We talked about on the break with the momentum shift, keep this lead intact. West Virginia coming out of the media and just looking impressive. We got some blood on Blackson getting hit in the nose, and he's going to have to go get cleaned up.
You want to know how physical this game has been so far? Look no further. Kylie Blackson transferred to West Virginia after 2 years at Colorado. This is her 3rd year on campus, taking a nasty shot. And it is a war underneath right now. Ooh, that is a scary sight, as it looks like. Not sure if it was a nose or maybe right to the jaw, into the teeth of Blackston. I think our officials are going to come look over and make sure it was just incidental contact and nothing more serious.
Well, we talk about Riviere and also Blackston, another impressive player for the Mountaineers because of her versatility. She can step out and shoot the three for them. She can go down low and post, and she can also take you off the bounce. And I think if West Virginia gets her the ball away from the basket, she's one of the Mountaineers that can take advantage of the Texas bigs off the bounce.
Well, it looks like after getting her nose cleaned up, Kylie Blackston, thanks to the incredible help of this athletic training staff, we talked about it. With fouls to Jordan Thomas, the young freshman who had a double-double 2 days ago, Tiers Moore and Riviere as well. This front court already very thin.
Shout out to, as you said, the West Virginia training staff. That was elite quickness to get her cleaned up so quickly. She's ready to go.
You can see we're watching alongside the officials here. The Carleton three. I was going to say it, and from that last replay, it looks like it had already happened before Carleton chunks up the three. We'll replay and show you.
I think it's before this.
Yeah, she's already bleeding there, as you can see, at the top of the wing. How about the toughness of Kylie Blackston? Looks like she may have played 3 possessions. Could have easily waved the hand and needed a little bit of help. Instead, she stays in this ball game as we try to properly identify when this injury happened.
She's already bleeding. I need to find out how she got
Yeah,
there.
you can see, I'm not sure if you can hear us on our NAT mic. Our officiating crew, our head official who's taking a look at this replay is Michael McConnell, saying, hey, it's already happened at that point. Our extended replays. 8-point lead for the Longhorns and 3:28 to go. Coach, before we came out of the media timeout, you had said, hey, this feels like a pretty crucial moment for West Virginia. How do you get back to single digits without making another big-time Longhorn run and almost putting the game away early?
Well, I felt it was imperative going into the half that West Virginia make a run out of that media timeout, and they did just that. Unfortunate that we have the stoppage of play here with the blood, Blackston getting hit. The officials having to take a look at it, make sure wasn't anything intentional going on or flagrant.
And kudos to our camera crew, but our director who went crazy doing a great job going back nearly 3 possessions. This is exactly when that shot, Kyla Oldacre with the elbow, and it's the follow through there, catching Blackston right in the nose. Incidental contact, we were told. Play will continue.
Yeah, Oldacre just coming down after she shot the ball there. Nothing intentional.
But to your point,
Texas so tall. I'm telling you, if you're up under them, look out. It's brutal down there.
playing amongst the trees.
Got to be ready to battle for sure.
Well, it's a 6-0 run for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, sorry. Good to see Blackston back out there.
No,
all cleaned up and ready to go. Definitely doesn't feel good when you take a shot to the nose like that.
She remains in 4 starters on the floor. Nice find. Watson can't get it to go. Babu battling for loose ball will be corralled by Lee. Harmon in transition will slow. 3 minutes now left here in this first half. A 6-0 run for the Mountaineers over the last 2. A scoring drive of close to 2.5 minutes for West Virginia as Aaliyah Moore goes to work on that low block. Dig right back down into her. Tough pass, good find. Layla Felia off the front iron. Oldacre with a rebound and fouled on the putback by Arik Babu. Again, the fouls are mounting. This now the second on Arik Babu.
Tell you what, if you're playing defense for West Virginia, you got what you wanted there. You want to force some outside shots. See if Texas can knock them down. They haven't proven that at this point in this early season, but you have got to go rebound the ball. You've got to push out, jump up and tip, do whatever you can. I know it sounds easy. It's a big task going against Texas, but you cannot let them have second shots if you're going to have a chance in this game.
Oldacre at 6'6", displaying her incredible touch from the free throw line, a 73% shooter, and the lead back to 10 with 2.5 to go. Here's Harrison. She's going to send away Arik Babu. liking the single coverage. Not going to use the screen again. Little miscommunication as Watson comes firing in. I think Watson thinks that possession's going to reign with the Mounties. She's a little surprised. You see Harrison doing a little reprinting. Thought Watson was going to hide out the corner.
Yeah, a little miscommunication. Harrison going to throw a drift pass for a corner three. Watson already on her way in to rebound. She thought Harrison was going to go up.
You know, West Virginia came into this contest, coach, shooting 39% from downtown, averaging 89 points per game. Credit the Texas defense for running them off said three-point line. That's a great clip. They're 0 for 5, haven't made a three yet.
Oldacre had to scramble there. They were about to get a 5-second count. West Virginia took all the ball handlers away. Oldacre recognized it, saved them.
Here's Aaliyah Moore doubled. Finding Lee in the corner. A wing three. No good. Great guard rebounding so far as Jordan Hayderson corrals the board, pushing the pace into the chest. How about that move? We'll have to pull out. Jordan lead it and bite for the fake. There's our Bob with a nice pick and roll. Kiss it in. Great find from Sydney Shaw.
If you're West Virginia, you got what you wanted on both ends of the floor there. They forced a three, and they rebounded it that time. Turns into 2 points on the other end.
Here's Harmon. A little shimmy shake, get to the short corner. Rory Harmon with a nice jumper.
Nothing you can do about that.
Oh.
West Virginia going to have an advantage here as Oldacre loses her shoe.
They're going to get a good foul on the floor. I don't have one again, so scratch that. But with Oldacre losing that shoe, allows them to reset. Harmon will be hit with the foul, just the first personal.
I still haven't figured out all these shoes coming off. I need someone to explain it to me. I don't think I ever lost a shoe in like 20-some years of playing basketball. They seem to come off pretty readily nowadays. Thought the technology was better.
I asked you the other day, too. Do we go back to Chuck Taylor's? Is that the answer? I've got that kind of swag in my bag. I don't know if it'll play on the hardwood, though.
I'm not thinking we're going back to the Chuck Taylor
Chuck
days.
Taylor's.
Those are the cool casual shoes you wear out and about nowadays, right?
I don't know. I'm not that cool. I'm just trying to be like these awesome athletes here at West Virginia and Texas as the game clock nearing under a minute. This is Aaliyah Moore dissecting that zone. A rare miss for Aaliyah Moore as Oldacre, the last touch, and a nice stop defensively with the Mounties trailing by 8. That was the first miss of the game from Aaliyah Moore. She's got a team-high 9. 55 to play. Coach, a 2-for-1 opportunity here for West Virginia?
Well, possibly. If they can score, I was going to say, if they can get a bucket there,
Yeah.
Feeling good going into the half, potentially get it back for a 2-for-1, as you mentioned. They are going to get it back, just not able to convert there.
Back to Moore. Moore into the chest of Blackson. Will corral her own board. And dang, has Aaliyah Moore been good. She's got 5 rebounds, 4 offensive for the Longhorns, and already in the double figures with 11.
Yeah, she's feeling good tonight. Maybe got some relief from that tendonitis. This is the most agile and active I've seen her this season, putting the ball on the floor and around the basket.
Harrison kicks to Quinterly. Quinterly desperately trying to get it going. She
Big
hits
bucket.
the hardwood.
Big bucket before the half for West Virginia.
Desperately needed. The first 3 of the half comes at a dang near buzzer beater. J.J. Quinterly struggled from the field, but showed up when they needed her most. She had 9 in the first half. They were led by Jordan Harrison with 10 points and a perfect 4 of 4 from the field. For the Longhorns, they were led by Aaliyah Moore with her 11, Madison Booker with 7, but in foul trouble. The Longhorns with a 36-29 lead here at the Gulf Coast Showcase, all brought to you by FloHoops. We'll see you in approximately 12 minutes on the other side of this Gulf Coast Showcase halftime report. Let's go ahead and set the scene. Two Big 12 foes. Well, not anymore. With Texas switching over to the SEC, that powerhouse conference just gets a little bit better. But West Virginia looking to prove their value in the new college basketball landscape. You know it's a big game. The lights are flashing. The music is rolling. And those defenses showed up to play in that first half, Coach.
Well, both defenses impressive. As anticipated, did not disappoint. We said one of the keys of the game is going to be taking care of the ball. West Virginia coughed it up 12 times to only 8 of Texas turnovers. And then rebounding, the other big key that we talked about. Texas out-rebounding them by 6, but 8 of those, 0 boards and 11 second-chance points. If you're West Virginia, again, your focus is cleaning up those boards. They forced Texas into some shots that they wanted. You want to force them into outside jump shots, especially from the three-point line, and you've got to chase down those rebounds.
Well, you know it's a big-time matchup. They're big-time stars here at Hertz Arena. The Longhorns with a 7-point lead. The Burnt Orange has traveled well despite a football game that a few were talking about in Austin. And for West Virginia, a Mountaineer program in the second year of Mark Kellogg, looks for a statement win and not the start they were looking for. A block by Aaliyah Moore and Booker pacing the other way.
Yeah, good job by Texas taking that away. That's something I think West Virginia can do. Pull the bigs away from the basket and drive the ball, but you got to extend on the finish. Blackston didn't do that. Brought the ball back up behind her head.
Digging down to Oldacre. Fighting for the rock is Blackson and Oldacre. This is going to be a jump ball and possession will remain with the Horns. Kylie Blackston, that bloody nose in the first half, battling with so many in foul trouble for the Mountaineers. Kaya Watson playing with 2 fouls, and on the bench are Babu, Thomas, and Moore, and Riviere. That's every front court player they have in foul trouble.
Tell you what, I don't know if you can tell us at home, but there is a battle down low going on. It is so physical when you're playing Texas at the basket.
How good has Aaliyah Moore been? Great spin move. She's up to 13, game high. Quinterly, mid-range jumper go. Hasn't been as efficient of a scoring night so far for J.J. Quinterly, now just 2 of 8 from the field.
Yeah, and got some really good looks early, just couldn't get him to fall.
Here's Harmon working on Harrison. That'll be Harrison's first foul. You know, we talked about foul trouble. Maybe that's in part to why only 4 Mountaineers have scored so far. Harrison with 10, Quinterly with 9. Art Babu off the bench, playing 12 minutes. That's more than she's played all season. She's got 8. Riviere with just 2. Whereas the Longhorns much more distributed across the board. Aaliyah Moore does lead the way with 13.
Well, we talked about Texas. 10 players already scored in double digits for them this season. They have multiple weapons. They can come at you many different directions. A rare miss from 3 by Booker, shooting it at 83% on the season. Yes, 83%.
I don't believe you. I've seen it all week. She was 8 of 10 on Friday night, folks, in the Gulf Coast Showcase in their opener. She went a ho-hum 8 for 10 from the field, 3 threes. She finishes with 21. It's the easiest 21 I've ever seen. She didn't play 15 minutes in the second half. She started the first 5 minutes, done. Night was over. Felt like she could have gone for 50 if she wanted to.
Well, no doubt. She made that look really easy. Felt like she could have certainly put up 40 if she had taken a few more shots. That's not what you want to do if you're West Virginia. You don't want to shoot over the bigs. You want to go by them, or you want to bring them out away from the basket, force them to guard your foot speed, but you don't want to go head-to-head down low.
Booker in transition, dumping it off to Harmon. Harmon finding Oldacre. Oldacre with a miss, but cleaning it up. She's got 6 and 4. Already 9 offensive rebounds for the Longhorns.
Again, really impressed with her. Her quicks off the floor, reaction time to go get that.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
Talk about quicks. How about Harrison right back at you?
Oh, Jordan Harrison, so nice. Got to see it twice. Look at that spin move. Now the Longhorns on the other end. Deficit back to 9.
Horns running some Horns action. Booker, a little bit of an off night so far, but Oldacre there to clean it up.
swatted away from Kaya Watson. You can see Oldacre a little dejected as West Virginia will check in their freshman, the 6'3" Jordan Thomas. Coach Schaefer barking out inbound orders. This is where Rory Harmon becomes such an asset. It feels like so many of her assists come right here on the inbounds. She'll kick to the corner to Shaw in the chest of Booker. Booker going to work. How about Harrison poking it loose? Keeping it alive and back to Harmon as
Moore gets pushed, trying to come up there and set the high ball screen for Harmon.
This matchup, as physical it is, right? So much skill on the outside. Both of these teams with only one three-pointer, respectively shooting 13 and 17% behind the arc. But when you look in the points in the paint, Texas with 22, West Virginia at 20. The difference in this game is really at the free throw line where the Longhorns 9 of 10.
Texas running a set play there for Moore, having a big night. Oldacre sets a screen. Moore uses it nicely. And really good to see her having a big game for the Longhorns.
Well, the fouls continue to mount, and if you remember, Jordan Thomas, a freshman who's played spectacular this week, has just been charged with her third personal. Saw a quick close-up of head coach Mark Kellogg. None too happy with the decision. I know a lot of Mountaineers fans may be a little upset with the officiating. When you look at it, 15 personal fouls for West Virginia, 13 for Texas, very much so even. But, Coach, I think we kind of anticipated that. These are two teams that press full court, are very physical. This seems on brand.
Right, and very choppy. You're going to get a lot of whistles in a game like this, just the way that they play, right?
Dude.
But how about Harrison again? I mean, she's been so solid for West Virginia, playing with great poise, composure, not getting rattled when Texas goes on a run.
Well, the Naismith preseason player of the year, J.J. Quinley, just 2 of 9 from the floor. Jordan Harrison said, Mounties, hop on my back, let's go. Nice underneath pass as Holly's going to miss the runner. Moore's tied up on a jump ball underneath. Possession to the Mountaineers. Back to Harrison, though.
Well, and Harrison defensively neutralizing Rory Harmon a little bit this game. Can match her speed pretty well. They've been going head-to-head from the jump.
I was going to say, Harmon, she is impacting the game like she always does. 6-4, 3 and 2 steals. But 2 for 7 from the field. That matchup of Quinley and Harlan being spoiled by the spectacular effort of Jordan Harrison. She's got a game-high 14. 6 of 6 from the floor as Aaliyah Moore.
Yeah, we talk about
foul.
We talk about the choppiness of the game, lots of whistles, but there's so much contact. And it has to be a hard game to officiate. You got to kind of pick and choose a little bit and still, follow the rules and guidelines of what you're supposed to be doing, but there's so much contact out there.
I bet it's a nightmare. Pressing 90 feet the entire game is... Oh, Coach Kellogg right in the face of the official. They say Sydney Shaw caught that ball out of bounds before throwing up that three. Kellogg fighting for his team, the second-year head coach. So many in West Virginia so excited about.
Well, the official right there, easy call, but Coach Kellogg wants his team to know he's got their back, imploring them to keep their focus. I got you.
He's reinvigorating not only this team, but this program as Kyla Oldacre going to work. She now at 8.
I can't say enough about her game and how much she's developed under Coach Schaefer's leadership. But again, the quick guards of West Virginia coming right back at you.
West Virginia finds himself in a really precarious spot here. If you wouldn't look at the scoreboard, it feels like Texas up by 20. But just continue to hang around. Makers of their last 3 shots. And J.J. Quinley hasn't even gotten it going yet. Now 3 of 10 from the floor and a chance for a 3-point play. Deficit back to 8.
Now, West Virginia doing a nice job, as you mentioned, hanging around. Just want to keep it close. Give yourself a chance in the fourth quarter, right? Playing number 5 in the nation. West Virginia ranked number 12. AP poll, coaches poll will come out tomorrow morning.
Aaliyah Moore going back to work. How about the touch? Her teammates call her ammo. She's brought all the juice today for the Longhorns. Another strong finish at the rim.
Moore with 17, and again, so impressive tonight. She's so versatile. Can take you off the bounce away from the basket. Can put the ball on the floor in the interior.
You know, it's funny. We've seen so much of Aaliyah Moore on that low block, tearing that ACL in 2023, coming back, a second-team Big 12 selection. She's been doing this, right? She played for the USA Basketball 3v3 team in the summer of 2020 before she tore that ACL, and you can kind of see how a lot of those skills she learned playing in that FIBA style have translated here. And as she's now just a senior, her game's gotten better year in and year out, and she is carrying the Longhorns tonight.
Well, personally been following Aaliyah's career for about 7 years now. Saw Mom and Grandma gave them a hug before the game, and she's all-time great coming out of the state of Oklahoma. Just played like a guard in high school at times. So versatile, like you said, and very highly decorated player before she ever stepped foot on campus. ACL set her back a little bit. And still, you know, dealing with some stuff in that knee, as we mentioned earlier, tendonitis, but nothing slowing her down tonight.
I was going to say, she looks pretty strong. How about that move from Quinterly? And the hesitation. The Naismith preseason player of the watch is starting to wake up. Mountaineer fans on their feet after that big-time finish from Quinterly.
Well, and players like Quinterly, look at this.
Ooh.
Players like Quinterly aren't going to stay quiet the whole game, and it's time for her to get hot.
How about that swing?
She does just that.
A range of emotions, a tough double pump fake finish from Quinterly. She's up to 14. They don't make the call on one end, and Aaliyah Moore just picked up her 4th foul. Talk a little bit more about the foul trouble when we return. Longhorns lead by 9 with 4:50 to go in the third. Welcome you back into the ever-famous Hertz Arena, home of the minor league hockey team, the 3-time ECHL champions, the Florida Everblades. Coach, I say that every game. I just enjoy saying it. Is a very cool venue for the Gulf Coast Showcase as we welcome you back in a huge moment in this game. Quinterly with a double pump fake, jump shot, cuts it to 9, and then on the other end, Aaliyah Moore fouling after a steal attempt. Her 4th personal foul will send her to the bench for an extended period of time as Kaya Watson knocks it down.
Well, when we talk about the depth that Texas has, the reason why this is crucial for them is because of the game that Aaliyah Moore is having, right? They can sub 1, 2, 3, 4 deep at that position, but Aaliyah Moore having an incredible night in a tight game. 4 fouls become much more crucial. I mean, she's shooting 70%, 7 of 10 from the field, 4 or 5 from the free throw line. Big loss in this game for Texas to have to sit her down.
But Justice Carlton had just checked in, who had 30 last night. We'll check in for her. Carlton with the offensive rebound. Going to work on the low glass. Tough finish at the rim. Won't be able to go. Nice defense from Mark Babu. Here comes Harrison, though, in transition.
Nice.
Jordan Harrison, a model of perfection. 7 of 7 from the floor. She's got 16.
Harrison has just been electric for this Mountaineer squad. Ability to switch gears in transition and just blow by the entire Texas defense.
Here's Oldacre. Carlton, short corner jumper off the back iron. Watson with the board. Here come the Mounties. A 6-0 run in the last 40 seconds.
Well, we talk about Carlton last night having such a big game, but she is a freshman, right? This is the biggest game she's played in so far in her young career. Shots are a little bit more rushed, being defended at a higher rate. Not as easy tonight.
Harrison slashing in the basket, had the ball stripped, went out on her own knee. Great defensive play by Shea Holly. Three and a half to go in the third quarter. It's Oldacre, Harmon, Holly, Carlton, and Booker for the Longhorns. Shaw, Eric Babu, Harrison, Quinterly, and Watson for the Mounties.
West Virginia goes back to their zone defense.
Blocked by Eric Babu. Holly keeps it alive. Shot clock should have never reset, as Shea Holly is going to be fouled and head to the line.
West Virginia bench not happy. Thought Holly shuffled her feet. The refs saw it otherwise and make the foul call.
I was going to say, with that shot being blocked too, I don't think it was a change of possession either, but the shot clock did reset. I think Holly, knowing that it shouldn't have, just immediately went back up and draws the foul. Holly, a rare miss at the free throw line. 75% shooter.
Holly only 11 wins away from becoming the winningest Longhorn in NCAA modern era.
Coach Vic Schaefer's talked about what she has meant to this program. You know, she checks out. Her dad, Eric, played football at the University of Texas, 1973 to 83. And for Holly, it was a dream come true to wear the burnt orange, and she'll go down as an all-time great. She's such a glue player for this Longhorn squad. She's able to knock the second down. The deficit for the Mountaineers back to 6. Eric Babu has her shot blocked by Oldacre. Ill-advised save as saves it on her own basket, and Booker will push the pace. Booker to Felia, great head fake, but the feet shuffling. You see, great leadership from just the young sophomore. Booker going, hey, shoot that thing.
In West Virginia, if you don't have a clear look in there, I'm okay kicking that right back out and getting a three-point shot. Just not going to go head-to-head with the bigs of Texas.
Well, these teams, they love pace, they love defense, they love points in the paint, as Rory Harmon looked like a clean swipe. Instead, it'll be J.J. Quinterly heading to line. You know, right now you talk about the three-point line. Texas came into this matchup only shooting about 25% from downtown, whereas West Virginia about 39%. Still very much so a part of their game, but Coach, Texas 1 for 8, West Virginia 1 for 7, and we have seen these guards be as downhill as they come. As Quinterly now 6 of 8 from the charity stripe. She's got 15.
When you talk about Texas and three-point shooting, as you mentioned, only shooting at 25% clip, but only about really 2 players that legitimately take threes for them, 4 that have even taken one on the year prior to this game.
Not a whole lot of volume, as they'll have to showcase that ability as they surely get into SEC play. Harmon looking for Carlton. Nice hands by Shaw. All of a sudden, again, you look up and you go, oh, Texas only up by 4. West Virginia's made 5 of their last 7 shots, looking for another stop on this end, as Texas hasn't had a field goal in close to 4 minutes and 4 seconds of play.
Well, and what a big drought. So many weapons on the floor, not been able to put the ball in the basket. Credit West Virginia and their defense. They're mixing it up a little bit. Back to their man here out of the baseline, out of bounds, set.
Shot clock down to 5. Harrison on Harmon. They kick to Booker in the corner. 2 dribbles, jump shot from the mid-range, no good. And Watson will pull in the rebound. Chance to make it a 1-possession game for the first time. Not even asking for lead, first time a 1-possession game since the 8-minute mark in the first quarter.
And Booker continues to be unusually cold for Texas. Her shooting percentages are off the charts high. not been able to knock it down tonight.
Oh, nice step through from Kaya Watson. Her first field goal. Deficit to 2. The Mountaineer run continues. Here's that ever-daunting Press Virginia press, and Jordan Harrison, a little too handsy, fouling Booker, her second personal, and Booker ahead the line with the Longhorns already in the bonus.
West Virginia a little overzealous there. They got excited after the great play and jumped out, tried to trap the ball, and Harrison bumped right into her.
And again, you talked about scorers finding a way to fill it up. This may be the last thing West Virginia wanted to do, is to send the talented Madison Booker to the line, where she's an 81% free throw shooter. Booker, the Cheryl Miller Award small forward a year ago, a preseason All-American, and again, don't want to get her going for West Virginia.
And a rare miss from the line. She hits the first one just a little bit off in her shooting so far in this game.
Well, last year, it was the first game she ever played point guard. She turned it over 9 times against West Virginia in a win up in Morgantown. So to your point, maybe this West Virginia defense has got Booker thinking. Here's Harrison. Hesitation. Lost her footing. Turns it over, and here comes Felia. Felia with the left hand. Slicing and dicing, and will be fouled. This is a big decision here. Will it be an Babu or Shaw? And it would be Shaw, just her second. But Layla Felia, the Big Ten first-team selection a year ago, will head to the line looking for her first points of the contest.
And you mentioned that game last year in Morgantown. Texas went in there and won by 39 points. West Virginia returning 4 out of 5 starters from that team, and you know they haven't forgotten that game.
I got to talk with Coach Kellogg before today and asked him, hey, does it mean a little bit more because it's Texas? He goes, no. I mean, it's good to beat a top 5 team. I'm more so curious to see how our kids handle this moment. Championship Sunday, top 5 squad, long way to go to where we want to be, but we're going to learn a lot about our ball club tonight.
Well, you know, they say adversity causes some to break and some to be great. And West Virginia has handled some adversity in this game, and they have responded.
Here's Quinterly on the wing. Game clock under a minute as Quinterly will step behind the three-point line, rattling in and out.
And then Riviere getting hit in the nose. There's just constant contact under the basket. Every shot is a battle for the board.
If we get another look at this, looks like a pretty scary shot as she is slow to her feet. The officials say play on. Both of these teams huddling as possession's going to hang tight on this side. Not sure the stoppage in play is they're going to allow Riviere to get back to her feet and feeling all right. Mountaineers will inbound. 46 on the game clock, 20 on the shot clock. 2 for 1 opportunity as Shaw will step behind a 3. In and out as well.
Oh, another great look by West Virginia. Those are the kind of shots they want. Just rimmed out for Shaw.
That's who they want taking him. Sydney Shaw, a 45% three-point shooter, has shot it really well here at the showcase. Checking in for the first time today. This is a young freshman you're really excited about, Coach. Brianna Preston. Foul away from the ball.
Yeah, Coach Schaefer described Preston as Rory Harmon on steroids. I mean, this freshman is exciting to watch. She's so fast, she gets ahead of herself sometimes, but she's going to continue to mature in this Texas system. Gets to play behind Rory Harmon. Learn and grow from her. I'm sure Rory has taken her under her wing, but she's explosive and can do some really special things on the floor, even though she's a freshman.
Oldacre misses the second, rebounded by Shaw. Another underlying storyline. Eric Babu with 4 fouls, Thomas with 4 fouls. Watson and Riviere just picked up their 3rd. So serious foul trouble heading into the 4th quarter for the Mounties, yet they only trail by 6. Game clock is 6 as Harrison being guarded by Preston. Doesn't use the screen. Into the heart of the defense, she finds Quinterly. Quinterly putting on the deck, getting rid of it in time, and a buzzer-beating bucket for J.J. Quinterly.
And nicely done by Quinterly. She almost took a contested shot. Instead, Gives a little shot fake and takes a better shot.
Quinterly up to 18. The deficit at 4 will step away as the officials come over to make sure that the ball was released from the fingertips of Quinterly before the quarter. Put your 4s up. 10 to go here from the Gulf Coast Showcase in Estero, Florida. Ten to play here at the Gulf Coast Showcase, and the Stars in the building. A Texas Longhorn legend in for the Gulf Coast Showcase Championship, a coach you know well.
Coach Jody Conrad here, travels to a lot of the Texas games. Been here for the entire tournament. 900 wins at Texas, 1986 national champion, 3 Final Fours. Naismith Hall of Fame honoree in 1998. Great to see her make the trip down to Florida to cheer on her Longhorns. And how about Carlton, the freshman,
Coach,
beating one?
Coach Conrad coached a bunch of talented players along the likes of Justice Carlton. 2 offensive rebounds, up to 5, and now 6 points. But it was so cool seeing Coach Conrad as Carlton wrapped up and a jump ball with Quinterly. For Coach Conrad to be in the building, when you talk about this Texas program, 36 NCAA appearances. That's tied for 3rd all-time in the Division I ranks. And those 3 Final Fours and that 1 national championship, all under her watch. Vic Schaefer, his 5th season at the helm in Austin. Coach Schaefer, who was born in the hospital on campus in Austin, Texas, means the world for him to be back. And for to have Coach Conrad in the building, you know it must mean the world to him.
Oh, without question. They have a great relationship, great rapport, always communicating back and forth about things. And how cool would it be to have Conrad there to kind of pick her brain on things that she sees, and just so supportive of this Longhorn program years after she retired.
Aggressive offensive rebound from Madison Booker. Another layup on the other end. J.J. Quinterly, it was a slow start. That is not a lie. The Naismith preseason player of the year, though, has exploded for 13 here in the second half. She's up for 20. And if she continues to keep this propelled offense rolling, they just continue to hang around as Madison Booker, kind of similar to Quinterly, has just been not her best night, but finding a way to contribute. She's now got 9 and 7. Playing with those 3 fouls, though, something to keep an eye on.
Well, and how about Coach Schaefer electing to go with 2 of the freshmen to start this quarter? He's got Preston at the 1, Carlton.
You got 3 starters sitting on the bench right now for Texas, and one of them being Aaliyah Moore, who's got a team-high 18.
It'll be
She's
interesting.
got those 4 fouls, though.
Be interesting to see at what point does he decide to bring Moore back. How about the freshman Preston getting the steal and drawing the foul?
And the loose ball foul going to be on the Mountaineer. This a huge call. It's on number 32, Kaya Watson, her 4th, and all because of the active hands and active feet of Brianna Preston.
These freshmen playing for Texas, playing in biggest game of the year so far. Highest ranked team that Texas has played. The only ranked team Texas has played to this point in the season.
Got to be such a learning opportunity for the freshmen you mentioned out on the floor. Brianna Preston, number 38 ranked player in the class of 24. They're so fond of this 24 class, such a blend of veterans and youth, headlined by the star power of the likes of Madison Booker and Rory Harmon. Coach Vic really thinks this is the team, because of their depth, that could get them back to the Final Four for the first time since that Coach Conrad era.
Well, and you mentioned it earlier, but Texas joining the SEC this year, along with Oklahoma. And what a gauntlet of a conference that's going to be.
And folks, depending on who this is on, this is going to be a massive call. You're actually going to get it on Quinterly. It was Eric Babu on the defensive low block. She's got 4 personal fouls. We mentioned not much of an option else for Coach Kellogg. Eric Babu with 4 fouls. Kaya Watson with 4 fouls. Jordan Thomas with 4 fouls. Riviere with 3. So they are becoming very thin on that low block, and the Longhorns know it.
As Oldacre knocks down the free throw. She's played big tonight for Texas. Literally and figuratively. It's another one. You know, we talk about Texas joining the SEC. How about this? Right now in the SEC, you've got South Carolina, LSU, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Alabama, and Oklahoma, along with Texas, ranked in the top 25.
A juggernaut of a conference is Preston and Eric Babu fighting for the loose ball out of bounds. It'll remain with the Mounties. Coach, you talk about this super conference, right? It feels so good for the game with so many primetime matchups. I know Debbie Antonelli, an ambassador for this event, she's in the building. Those primetime events so good for the sport, and we're going to get those on a weekly basis in the SEC this year.
Well, grab your popcorn, take a seat, and enjoy. I mean, that's just unreal, the level of talent that's in that league.
8-point lead for the SEC Longhorns. West Virginia sitting back in that 2-3. Here comes Carleton. Breaking down, and how about the hands from Jordan Harrison? She gets the steal, and she draws the foul on Justice Carleton.
She continues to impress in this game, and one of those guards we highlighted for West Virginia, part of the trio of Shaw, Quitterly, Harrison.
Jordan Harrison, that already her second steal today. They go back to Quinterly on the offensive end. Kick out to Harrison. Harrison slashing, defended by Yep, they're going to get Preston all day. She knows it too.
And Harrison just using her experience against the freshman to draw the foul.
Jordan Harrison, who's got 16, 7, and 8 from the field, a perfect 2 for 2 from the line. This a young guard from Oklahoma City. She transferred in from Stephen F. Austin, where she started her career.
I'm really intrigued by Coach Schaefer opting to go with these youngsters in this quarter in such a tight game, and their biggest game of the season so far.
As the ball was trapped on the sideline, we're going to get a timeout on the floor, and we'll take a timeout with them. The Longhorns lead by 8 with 7 to play. As we welcome you back into the Gulf Coast Showcase, I would be remiss to mention, for both Coach Stallings and I, this is a very special evening. My grandfather, the West Virginia Mountaineer, my grandma, Toby, a diehard Mountaineer fan, but my dad, a UT alum. This is a bucket list opportunity, and I know this night very special for you two as well, Coach.
Well, I want to give a quick shout out to Mom and Dad listening back in Ohio. Huge basketball fans. They haven't missed a game in this tournament. I'm sure your grandma hasn't either, and you're taking in all the action on FloHoops.
Well, we know we're thankful for our family. We're thankful for all of you Flo listeners. What a special weekend of basketball as Quinterly is going to be fouled by Felia. No break in the action. We had to get our shout-outs in fast because these two teams so relentless, exhausting, really is this what we expected, though, right? A back-and-forth affair. You talked about it yesterday. Teams that press don't necessarily always love to be pressed, and that's why we think we have seen a pretty low-scoring affair in this top 12 showdown.
Yeah, a lot of choppiness with all the whistles, but the refs have to call it.
Well, that's going to be the 17th turnover of the game for West Virginia. We told you, on average, forcing 30.5 per game. In every game they played this year, they have forced at least 20. And for Texas, very similar numbers, forcing 27 turnovers per game. But this is a different beast. Here's Preston into the chest of Harrison. And Jordan Harrison on both sides of the floor. Been dynamite tonight.
Yeah, and Preston again there, just a rookie mistake. Freshman pushing off, going against these upperclassmen of West Virginia. They're schooling her a little bit. Coach Schaefer still leaving her out there. He's got Rory Harmon on the bench, still Aaliyah Moore with 4 fouls on the bench.
Shea Holly as well, their starting guard. Going with some youngsters, getting the opportunity to play in a big-time moment.
Well, and if you're West Virginia, you want to take advantage of this with Moore and Harmon on the bench, and they do just that, a set play. They run Shaw off the screen, and she nails it.
You heard me popping mics. I think the charge, maybe the most electric play in sports. I joke, but so much momentum on that sideline, and Sydney Shaw able to capitalize.
Well, we talk about Texas and Coach Schaefer. Again, I think one of his biggest challenges this season is going to be combinations. When, how, and how long. Carlton with the answer there, one of the freshmen. We talked about she had a 30-point performance yesterday. Nice putback for her.
Folks, that was the 17th offensive rebound for the Longhorns. That number continues to climb. 22 now second chance points, and Carlton's now got 8. Watson looking for a backdoor Shaw. Shaw mid-range jumper. Crispy clean on the mid-range game.
So smooth. Steps right into it. Makes it look easy.
Mounties keeping it at 5-point deficit, just hanging around. Looks like West Virginia going to get back into their man set. Here's Booker behind the 3 ball. How about the confidence of the reigning Big 12 Player of the Year, a preseason All-American, and Madison Booker delivering.
Well, when you're as great of an offensive threat as Booker, you always think next one's in. Not her best shooting night, but always a believer that the next one's in. And Texas needed that bucket.
Another turnover for the Mountaineers. Watson just picking her head up at the last second as here come those vaunted Longhorn starters. Rory Harmon checking in. Shea Holly checking in. Aaliyah Moore checking in. Longhorns will go big here. They'll keep Oldacre on the floor.
Yeah, you knew that was coming, right? We just weren't sure when. Coach Schaefer decides to do it right before the media timeout.
West Virginia 4 starters will also be joined by Danil Argbabu, the German, who has played magically tonight, earning some serious PT. Diving on the floor is Jordan Harrison. It's going to be a jump ball, and the Longhorns will keep it.
How good have Harrison and Quinterly been for West Virginia? Kept them in this game all night long, in particular late in the game.
36 combined points from Quinterly and Harrison. Maybe, just maybe the best backcourt in basketball. They trail by 8 with 4:48 to go. Let's see if the Mountaineers can stage a comeback when we return. It's the Gulf Coast Showcase, all brought to you by FloHoops. We welcome you back into this top 12 showdown. The number 12 ranked West Virginia Mountaineers, the number 4 ranked Texas Longhorns. How about this backdoor cut? Beautiful play call, and Madison Booker banks it in.
Great play designed by Coach Schaefer out of the timeout. Outstanding execution by Texas. Easy layup for Booker.
Great patience from Rory Harmon, who now has 6 assists to let that play settle. Harrison not using the screen. Babu waiting. This time Will. Harmon staying right in her back pocket. And somehow, Jordan Harrison finding a way to get to the basket. An incredible performance tonight. She's got 18 now. Now that press. Harmon able to get it to Aaliyah Moore to avoid a half-court violation.
Well, what West Virginia does a lot of times is they want to take time off the clock in that press. It took 11 seconds to get into their offense, 11, 12 seconds. Now Texas, you see a little bit more rushed.
Booker can't get it to go, but how about Aaliyah Moore?
Big's just too much for West Virginia. They just keep coming, one right after the next.
Aaliyah Moore officially with a 20 ball, 5 rebounds. Now 18 offensive rebounds for the Longhorns. That's the big difference in today. Quinterly, mid-range game. Too easy.
And that is her game. Little mid-range jumper.
Harrison and Quinterly now have combined for 40 points for the Mountaineers. West Virginia shooting 53% from the floor, but still trail by 8 with 3 to go.
Well, only down by 8 with 3 to go. Very much a ball game here. West Virginia needs to string together a couple stops. They got to be all in on rebounding right here. It's got to be one and done for Texas. Everybody on West Virginia's
underneath pass. Tough finish from Oldacre.
And if you get it that low, there's nothing you can do. Again, can't let the ball get that deep. No answer.
The transfer in from Miami, a huge piece in the portal. Oh, how about this, Quinterly? So quick, so fast, and a late whistle. Shea Holly didn't give her anywhere to land. Quinterly a little slow to her feet. Has earned the 3-point opportunity. Is she kind of grimacing? It's that right ankle, it looks like, a little tender.
Can't say enough about Harrison and Quinterly for West Virginia. They have just been everything for this Mountaineer team in this big-time matchup early in the season.
Whatever Coach Kellogg said at halftime, hope he says it again to J.J. Quinterly. Quinterly, who's got 24, able to convert, make it 25. You look at what she's done in the second half, insanity. 15 on 6 and 9 shooting. Can she will the Mounties back into this game? They trail by 7. Quinterly gonna hit with a foul.
I'll tell you what, all night long it's been fun having her front row seat, watching these guards go at it. I mean, just foot for foot, matching one another's speed. West Virginia's mixed up Quinterly and Harrison on Rory Harmon.
Tell me, Coach, you've done a lot of top 25 matchups, even just this week. Harmon and Quinterly feel like the best point guards in the country. Turnaround jumper, Harmon.
Nice response by Harmon. That's her sweet spot. Yeah, I've been fortunate to call 6 top 25 games in 7 days, and tell you what, the women's game is in good hands. There's going to be some unbelievable action throughout the season as teams get into conference play. Had a chance to call UConn, obviously, with Paige Beckers. LSU with a trio of guards, Nisha Morrow, Flau'jae Johnson. Ole Miss, guard dominant. Texas, West Virginia in this tournament. And then NC State, who returns 75% of their guard production from a year ago.
Well, a true standing ovation and wildly well-deserved. Weighted official announcement as Oldacre and Arik Babu, you can see a lot of big hugs on that sideline. The German who transferred in from Northeastern Oklahoma A&M, a year ago, just had appeared in close to only 23 games, was a bench player coming off. But Arik Babu today.
Our Babu's family back in Germany, staying up into the wee hours of the morning, taking in our broadcast. I want to say hi to them. Thanks for tuning in. I'm sure they're proud of their baby tonight.
Well, tuning in, she only played 6 minutes in those 2 blowouts the last 2 days. She played 23 tonight. So much to be proud of if you're Mark Kellogg, if Danelle or Babu can give you those minutes down the line, they just got a whole lot deeper at that position. Lead at 9. Here's Harrison, great head fake. Off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Booker. A potential upset of West Virginia over the Longhorns might be fading. Fouled by Shaw, and Harmon has a quick word. Coach Schaefer halfway onto the floor, and he and Kellogg now having words for each other.
Yeah, no love lost between these two teams or coaches. Coach Schaefer did not like that hit on Harmon, and he's wanting a technical foul. Both coaches yelling at one another, getting a little testy
And to be
here
honest,
to end this game.
I love it. This is good for the sport. Coach Schaefer, yeah, you got to stand up for your star guard. She's broken every record imaginable and continue to do so. And if you're Coach Kellogg, that's just a defensive play. We're a defensive-minded unit. He broke a career first-year record at West Virginia with 25 wins a season ago. And not just the third personal in Sydney Shaw. He is building a new culture that is indicative of the blue-collar mentality that is the state of West Virginia.
Yeah, just as long as we don't have to pull out any pepper spray, I think we're good. Just some good old-fashioned competitive fire between these two programs.
Well, I know that college football had its day in the hay yesterday. Rivalry week, we saw a whole lot of that with flags being planted at half court, but this, a true rivalry. If Longhorn fans...
We're going to take a look at that play and make sure nothing extra happened. And then there's an unsporting technical foul on the head coach of Texas.
Okay. Well, again, no love lost, as I mentioned. If Texas fans want someone to be mad about, it was the West Virginia University football team that actually really implemented horns down across the country. And as our officials come to hang out with us, they have informed us that a technical foul has been issued to Vic Schaefer. It's a common foul on the floor on Sydney Shaw. They're making sure that it won't be upgraded to a flagrant 1 or 2. So Shaw with just the 3 personals, and as they await and sit next to us, they're going to delegate and bring their third official in to get another point of view. Coach, what do you see here?
I like this choice of songs. I really like this choice of songs. Tell the DJ it's a good one.
Not sure if you can hear our head official, but a classic line from Michael McConnell as our DJ played a little "Why Can't We Be Friends" sing. Good choice of songs. That would make our life easier right around now.
How funny that song comes on at this moment in the game. And we all just get along, right?
I got a weird feeling it wasn't an accident. The DJ here at Hertz Arena probably needs a raise. They've seen enough. They'll head back to the media table. Like I said, what we know for certain, they did issue a technical foul on Vic Schaefer, and now they'll delegate at half court to decide whether that common foul on Sydney Shaw will be upgraded. Mountaineers trailing by 9, and with potential technical free throws upcoming, this decision could have implications of whether West Virginia dream of an upset is over.
There was a personal foul, and then we have a technical foul on the coach. So we're gonna
on Texas or West Virginia?
Texas.
Technical foul on Texas. Awesome. Well, how good has this officiating crew been? I mean, they decide they're not going to upgrade. The explanation I so appreciate, as we have had 21 games in 6 days here at the Gulf Coast Showcase. Everything down to BD Global, the event crew have been fantastic. Our officials as well. They have decided technical foul on Vic Schaefer. West Virginia will shoot 2 at the line, and then I believe retain the rock as well.
Well,
Well, so the common foul, because they are in the bonus, so we'll knock out free throws on both sides, Coach?
yeah, that's what's going on here. Harmon shooting the fouls. And then we'll switch ends.
Harmon in and out.
It'll be West Virginia's turn here.
The deficit at 10. Yeah, I was going to say I was a little confused. But again, doing a great job of breaking everything down for us as J.J. Quinterly will head to the line.
Well, an opportunity for West Virginia here. Rack up some points, no time off the clock.
Oh, Quinterly was 8 for 10 from the charity stripe before that. Misses on the front end. She's an 85% free throw shooter.
And again, shout out to the officiating crew. A tough game. I would imagine to call, just two physically focused teams going at it. Lots of contact every single possession. Good job sorting through that.
Sense of urgency. It is go time for West Virginia. They trail by 9, a minute and a half left in this game. A top 12 matchup that is dominated by star power as Layla Filia going to get hit with her second. And again, that may be the best case scenario. There's only 5 seconds off the game clock, and Quinterly, their best free throw shooter, back to the line.
Yeah, again, West Virginia, an opportunity. Rack up some more points. No time coming off the clock. Still have a chance in this game.
Hey, Coach, remember when we said rough shooting performances? Quinterly is, again, another rare miss, so not necessarily all the way in her bag, but that's what the best do. 8 of 17 from the floor, just 1 of 5 from downtown, but J.J. Quinterly, with this free throw rolling in, now has 27 in this contest.
And another foul on Texas. It's going to go on Moore, which will be her 5th.
On a made free throw.
Just as indicative of this game, is it not?
Well, if
Ball's going through the net, and we get a foul call because it's so physical
love
on
the
box
leadership.
out.
Love the leadership as Aaliyah Moore just fouled out of this game. She fired up.
Well, Texas needs to be a little careful here. Mountaineers racking up point after point. No time coming off the clock.
I was going to say, if Harrison able to knock this down, you're looking at 4 points from the free throw line, Quinterly missing 2, and only 5 seconds off the game clock.
2-possession game if she hits this one.
Yeah, how about that? Back to 6. Aaliyah Moore, that final line, she finishes with 20 and 5. The Longhorns have enough to finish this game. A rare Harmon turnover.
Big
Here comes
steal
Sydney
by
Shaw. Shaw going to be fouled. Ooh, so close to an and 1.
Chance to bring it to within 4. Again, no time coming off the clock.
Does this not tell you everything you need to know about a Mark Kellogg? Right? Down 10, coming out of that timeout with 1:38 to go. A technical foul on Vic Schaefer, his first of the tournament. And all of a sudden, like, this team just has no quit.
Well, Coach Schaefer fired up, wanting to protect his player, Rory Harmon. But yeah, West Virginia taking advantage. Big time at the line.
Yeah, Sydney Shaw, this is her first season with the Mountaineers, transferring in from Auburn. The former Tiger, who is the number 43 ranked player in the 22 class.
2-possession game, minute 18.
Did we expect anything else? West Virginia showing press. Harmon's going to be doubled. We're going to get a timeout from Vic Schaefer. Red in the faces, Coach Schaefer. They knew the press was coming. The savvy Harmon dribbles right into it. And West Virginia on a 6-0 run. Makers are 5 of their last 7. And a 4-point game with 1:20 to go. Coach, let's go into both of these sidelines. West Virginia, what's the message?
Well, if you're West Virginia, keep doing what you're doing. Got Texas back on their heels just a little bit. Going to come out with the press here. You don't want to foul if you're West Virginia, but you want to really put pressure on Texas. Definitely want to try to get a stop here.
Well,
Definitely cannot give up a second shot.
Yeah. Well, for Texas, they've made their last 3 shots, but a pair of turnovers, a couple fouls on the free throw line, and that technical. They were up 25 seconds ago in game time.
What a momentum shift, right?
What's the conversation in their huddle?
Well, if you're Texas, you've got to be clean here. You got to take care of the ball, make sure you get open, don't mess around. West Virginia's going to send some traps, some double teams. Don't hold on to it too long. Move the ball. Come to the pass. Be clean. You want to take some time off the clock. You don't need a quick shot. Got the lead. But the most important thing if you're Texas is take care of the ball right here.
Got to imagine they'll put it in the hands of their superstar sophomore. As the great Dickie V would say, the diaper dandy.
It's something I feel like that gets overlooked a lot of times is the inbounder.
Yep.
Getting the ball in here, crucial.
Well, it looks like Carlton will
bring
inbound.
his freshman over
How about
in
that?
this big moment.
Madison Booker's got 7 of her 15 points here in the fourth quarter. They'll feed her. Carlton a clean inbounds. Booker a nice
Here comes
crossover.
the trap. Booker wisely gets rid of it. 10-second
Oh!
count on Texas. Great
Oh!
job by West Virginia out of the timeout.
Oh, Mountain Mama. Hold on to the edge of your seats. It's a 6-0 run in just 20 seconds for West Virginia. A 10-second violation, and they've got a chance to make it a single-score game.
Are we queuing up country roads, or are we going to be horns up?
A minute to play to find out. Harrison to Quinterly, defended by Felia. Two-man game, little pick and roll. Great hesitation from Quinterly. Gets to the mid-range.
Gets to her sweet spot. What a big bucket by Quinterly.
Ice in her veins.
Texas
Quinterly's
has
got
to get
29.
the ball across here. Oh,
Ticky-tacky foul. Shaw knows she got her. That's her fourth.
yeah, that was a foul. Easy call by the official. Not what West Virginia wanted to do.
With 50 seconds, though, you win or you lose, you're going to run the press regardless. This will send Madison Booker to the line. We told you 8 of her 15 here in the fourth quarter. 5 of 6 from the free throw line. She's an 85% shooter there.
Yeah, not who you want at the free throw line for West Virginia. Rarely misses. She lives for these moments.
Coach, we saw her mom after that game on Friday where she went 8 for 10 and 21. Her mom said she was born for this. All of this was her choice, sacrificing nights out. And she is now reaping the benefits. She extends the lead back to 4.
Coach Kellogg elects not to call a timeout and advance the ball.
How about that cross-court find? And Sydney Shaw!
Good decision. He wanted West Virginia to fly down the floor. They throw a drift pass for the corner 3. Almost unguardable on that play.
Jordan Harrison's 6 assists to go with 20 points is huge. Sydney Shaw with a 3 into double digits. A 1-point game here at the Gulf Coast Showcase. Game clock at about 20. Shot clock at 7. Here's Booker, mid-range pull-up, and buried.
Ice in her veins. Who else but Booker coming off the screen, rising up above the defender, and she just does not miss that shot too often. Great job by Booker stepping up in a big moment.
Madison Booker, 19, 10 in the fourth quarter. A mid-range assassin. The stars are shining here in Estero, Florida. Goodness gracious. The Mountaineers trail by 3, a chance to tie with 17 left in regulation. Officials coming to check over to see if they need any added time. But, Coach, as we get another look, a preseason All-American, the first ever Big 12 player in conference history to be crowned the Big 12 Player of the Year, the Freshman Player of the Year. Rory Harmon, an All-American, goes down. Booker changing positions for the first time in her life. And she is so clutch.
Yeah, and I like that call by Texas. Run her off the ball screen. And again, if you don't get up under her and get her early, once she rises up, she has a clean look at the basket, 6'1", great size. Not been her best night from a shooting perspective, but she has gotten hot late when Texas has needed her the most.
The timeout will advance the ball to half court. A 3-point lead for the Longhorns. The top 12 showdown has lived up to its hype.
Well, it's going to be interesting here to see if...
Oh, love that. A use it or lose it timeout for Vic Schaefer.
Yeah, a little chess match going on between these two coaches. I'm real interested to see if West Virginia is going to go for a quick shot here or if they're going to go for a run out the clock and go for a last shot, try to tie it with a 3, send it into overtime.
Coach Stallings.
Remember, Aaliyah Moore is fouled out of this game.
Yeah, it's going to be Oldacre, Harmon, Carlton, Booker, and it looks like at the moment Brianna Preston utilizing her speed. It will be. And for West Virginia, Shaw, Harrison, Quinterly, Thomas, and Watson. Coach, quickly, you coach in the Big 12. You said you were a feel. Quinterly's got 29 of 9 of 18 shooting. Jordan Harrison with 20 of 8 of 10. Only Quinterly with a 3. Shaw's got 2. Where's the ball go here?
Well, if I'm West Virginia, I want to get a quick bucket here.
Quick 2.
Yeah, get my defense set.
Inbound
Lots
to
of
Harrison.
time left in this game.
Well, now that clock dwindling. Game clock now at 10. Feels like a 3 is imminent. Screen in the corner. Great defense from Booker. Forces Shaw off the ball, and a wise timeout from Mark Kellogg.
It appears West Virginia wanted the three-point shot. Looked like a set play for Shaw to get that corner 3. Texas, good job blowing up the play. Forces Coach Kellogg to call another timeout. So at this point, with now only 6 seconds left, I feel like West Virginia definitely needs to go for a 3 here. And if they rebound it, they've got to kick it back out.
6 seconds. If you're Texas, do you foul?
Well, on the foul, that is a strategy.
Close,
and,
but if you shoot.
coaches get asked this all the time. And I think, again, you go back to, I'm a field coach, right?
Yeah.
And personally, depends on your team, but personally, I want to force a three-point make in this scenario.
Hey, let's be honest. Only 5 combined threes in this entire game.
And in a game like this where such crazy things have happened, I mean, we had a made free throw and a foul call, right? So I don't want to mess with all that. I want to force them to hit a three-point shot in a big moment under duress.
West Virginia's 3 of 12 from downtown. They're going to need one here. But Justice Carlton, a 30-piece last night, has just put this game on ice.
And what did we say? The most important part in these moments is inbounding the ball, something that often gets overlooked. West Virginia not able to throw the inbound pass cleanly. Wow. Coach Kellogg just has his head down over there, shaking his head, and knows he had an opportunity here on a neutral court to upset number 5 in the country. But great job by Texas doing what they do.
How about that
playing
smile?
Defense.
There are 3 freshmen on the floor for the University of Texas right now, the number 4 team in land. Vic Schaefer says, let's see what these freshies are made of. And Justice Carlton, in the most pivotal moment of the game, picks the pocket, takes it the other way, and the Longhorns are going to walk away Gulf Coast Showcase champions. Carlton's second free throw. She in double figures for the second time. She had a 30 ball last night, 10 tonight. But the steal as this game has wrapped. All eyes on the state of Texas as our officials are going to come over and blow a dead ball whistle. It looks like they may have called a travel before the final buzzer rang.
And what a game. What a performance by both teams early in the season. It's only November. Just a tremendous matchup. Buckle up, women's basketball fans. I tell you what, our game is in such a great place, coming off Caitlin Clark's year at Iowa and all the renewed interest. And just, no, there's not going to be any let up going into this season with all the elite players that are out there on multiple teams, and it's just going to be a fun year.
The talent discrepancy across the board. College basketball has never been in such a great place. They'll put 4/10 of a second back on the clock. But as the eyes of Texas reign here in Estero, Florida, the Longhorns, Gulf Coast Showcase champions. If it's any omen to last year's Gulf Coast Showcase champions, it was the Iowa Hawkeyes and Caitlin Clark hoisting that trophy. This year, the Longhorns looking to get back to the Final Four. It would be, though, just the 4th time in school history, as a little bit of an animated conversation between Vic Schaefer and Mark Kellogg. A trophy presentation awaits, but, Coach, what a basketball game.
Oh, just so thankful to be part of such great action. Again, early in the season, both of these teams are going to learn a lot from this game. First time, really, that Texas has been challenged to this point in the season. Really impressed with how West Virginia competed tonight. They're the real deal. This West Virginia team can make a deep run in March. They have all the pieces, but Texas, just a little bit too much tonight.
A 78-73 victory for the number 4 team in the land. Before we brag on the Longhorns, so much credit. 49 combined points between Jordan Harrison and J.J. Quinterly. Harrison did it on 8 of 10 shooting. She had 6 assists to boot. Quinterly with 29 on 9 of 18 shooting. So clutch in that second half. And as we await a trophy presentation, Vic Schaefer wants one final word with his squad. In his 5th season at the helm, Vic Schaefer, one of the winningest coaches we have in our sport, the 2023 Big 12 Coach of the Year, is going to walk away a Gulf Coast Showcase champion. We bragged on the Mounties. Mark Kellogg, they shoot 54% from the field, but the rebounding margin, 37-23 for Texas, 19 offensive rebounds. They enforced their will on the low block with helps to Aaliyah Moore. Moore, who had 20 on 8 of 11 shooting, but it was Madison Booker with 19. Her 19 and 10 of which coming in the second half, and coach, to me, the play of the game. West Virginia down a point. Booker comes down, mid-range jumper fading away to put this game on ice.
Well, no doubt a pivotal point down the stretch. Big bucket by Booker, and she's just been phenomenal throughout this tournament. What an incredible player for Texas. And, you know, you mentioned the rebounding, and that was the difference in the game, those offensive boards. And, you know, everybody knows it coming into the game, but until you face Texas, height, girth, physicality, it's hard to really emulate, and they were just too much on the offensive glass all night long for West Virginia.
Well, we're going to step aside. A massive night for the Longhorns. Harmon has 9 and 6, and we're going to let Debbie Antonelli, a superstar and the incredible ambassador for a game, take it away, an ambassador here of the Gulf Coast Showcase, as she announces this year's Showcase champions and our first team selection nominees. Miss Antonelli, taking it away.
Jeff, thank you. From Lee Health Foundation, Golisano Children's Hospital, Jason Pawella. These guys have been with us since day one on this event. And then the world's greatest women's basketball fans from Ardmore, Oklahoma, hashtag the Gibbs, John and Sue. Okay, we're going to do the all-tournament team. From Butler, Caroline Strandy. From West Virginia, Jordan Harrison. Congratulations, Jordan. We'll make sure that she gets her award. From West Virginia, J.J. Quinterly. From Texas, Madison Booker. And our most valuable player in our 12th year of the Gulf Coast Showcase is Rory Harmon. Congratulations to all the all-tournament performers. Rory, come here. Let me get a couple of words from you, Rory. Okay. Listen, you've been through quite a journey last year with your injury, 9 games, and your team thrived and survived without you, but this year you make such a difference. What's it been like to play with your teammates this year?
Like I say every time I get this question, I'm just completely grateful. As you can tell, we have so much fun on the court. I wouldn't be in this position without my teammates and, of course, our staff. And like I said, I just love to play the game of basketball, and I love being out with my teammates. So
it wasn't an easy one tonight. West Virginia made a significant comeback, cut it to a one-possession game. What were you guys saying in the huddle?
Obviously, this is a great basketball team. It's always a good matchup between us. But we just have to take care of the ball, truly. And we may have a little hiccups here and there, but I think we came together. We kept our composure at times. And we just fought to the end and won the game. So, yeah.
You guys have a lot of pieces. It's not just you and Madison. There's significant help on the interior. When you guys are playing at your best, what does it look like?
Yeah, I mean, we have so many options, so many weapons. Like I said, it's going to be really hard to guard us down the line, but honestly, we just have to run the offense that we're given, take our talents to the court, move the ball, take care of the ball, make shots, get rebounds. We have what we have, and we'll be good. So.
All right, Roy, congratulations on being the MVP. Coach Schaefer. Vic, come on, man. I mean, if it was easy, it wouldn't be any fun, right?
Well, I don't know. I'd rather have it easy, but congratulations to West Virginia. They're really good. I mean, they're deserving of top 10. I don't know how they picked them 6th in that league, but they're probably going to win that league from what I know about it. Well coached, a ton of respect for Coach and his team. They've got a veteran group. He's really added some really good pieces to the team, and so we knew it was going to be a dogfight. We knew it would be tough. They're really tough, but I'm really proud of this group right here now. That is a tough group. That is a tough group of competitors. And if you're going to live in the neighborhood that we're living in right now in the top 10, you better be tough, you better be physical, and you better be aggressive. And that group right there, you know, we have a saying that, you know, everybody kind of wants to be where you are, but nobody wants to pay the price that it takes to get there. And those kids pay the price every day. I'm so proud of them. There's more over there that could easily been on the all-tournament team. Amo has 20 and 5 tonight. Justice Carlton had 30 off the bench last night. I mean, there's some really good players over there that really did a nice job today. And again, I'm really proud of them because I know what they do every day. I know how hard they work. I'm just proud to be their coach.
Vic, you said the neighborhood of top 10. It's really the top 5. You're undefeated, and we're not in practice every day. So you watch the progress and the journey of your team each day with your staff. What did you learn towards the end of the game about your team when West Virginia cut it to 1 possession?
Well, again, I'm smart enough to know I've got certain players over there that can go make a shot, and then we really did a good job guarding them, you know, when they were trying to run something out of bounds. And quite frankly, I haven't spent enough time on that. But that's a veteran group, and they did a really good job defensively. But again, that's toughness. You know, you got to want to be in that moment, listening to them in the huddle, listening to communicate to each other. Hey, we got to talk. We got to communicate. We know what's coming. It's nice to have 5 seniors.
Yeah.
You know, that's a good place to start. But I tell you, when you know, we are really blessed with some good guards, and we got depth at guard. I thought Kyla did a great job today. She really came in and battled inside. I don't know if I took her out of the game in the second half. So, again, we're going to continue to get better. Games like this make you better. We got another one on Thursday night in South Bend.
That's right.
that we'll have to be ready for. But a game like today gets them ready for that moment.
Coach, it's great that you brought your program here. We're so grateful that you're here. Thank you so much, and congratulations for being champions in December.
Yeah, well, thanks again. We appreciate everything that the Gulf Coast Showcase provided for us. And again, thanks for the hospitality. Thanks for all these folks. And the hotel was great as well. So we appreciate it. And good job, ladies. Praise the Lord and hook 'em horns.
On behalf of BD Global, Southwest Florida, the Hyatt Coconut Point, which I hope you all took advantage of, and our entire tournament, our sponsors, Jason, Jeff, the Gibbs, I'd like to thank everyone for being here. Be safe in your travels. Team, stay here for your pictures. Happy holidays, everyone. Be safe, and I hope I'll see you down the road.
Than myself. 21 games in 6 days is one heck of a feat. But what a blessing to help tell the stories as an ambassador of this incredible program. The Texas Longhorns. Well, they say the eyes of Texas are upon you all the livelong day. Aspirations of getting back to March Madness, the pressure of mounting, and Coach Vic Schaefer with a group that he thinks he can get there. They crown themselves Gulf Coast Showcase champions, and we say thank you to you Say thanks to FloHoops, and we'll see you next year.